Hello students, I am welcoming you to the part 3 of oscillations. In this particular part, we are going to study about amplitude, period and frequency. And even after doing this, we are going to see about phase. What is phase that we are going to see? Why we are defining phase that we are going to see. And after that, one more point we are going to cover, which is composition of SHM. So we are going to see 3 points in this particular part, in which with one we are going to start it right now. Okay. So as you all know, basic concepts about amplitude, then period and even frequency. Okay. So what is amplitude? Amplitude is nothing but the maximum displacement or maximum distance covered by any particle. So in this, what we are saying? We are talking about oscillations, okay, and linear simple harmonic motion that we are talking about. So the particle which is having maximum displacement will be considered as amplitude in this case. So as you all know, what is the formula for displacement? Formula for displacement is x is equal to a sin omega t plus phi. Am I right? Yes. So in this case, what will be the maximum amplitude and what will be the minimum amplitude? Actually, we have already covered this, because minimum amplitude that we have derived was 0, that is at mean position, right? And maximum amplitude is nothing but plus or minus. It depends on either the particle is moving towards right or left. That depends on that. Okay. So we are going to see in another way that what will be the amplitude. Okay. So here you can see in this equation we are having an angle which is sin omega t plus phi. So we have to know the maximum value of that angle. So which is the maximum value of sin theta? Maximum value of sin theta is 1 or minus 1. Okay. So when we are getting sin as 1 or minus 1, so I will write over here, that is sin omega t plus phi, it becomes plus or minus 1. Only then you will get maximum amplitude. Okay. So if I am saying this is plus or minus 1, so you will get x as plus or minus a. Only when that sin angle gives you the value of plus 1 or minus 1. At that point you will get amplitude, which is nothing but plus or minus a. Okay. So this is all about the amplitude. Now we'll see about period. Okay. It's nothing but time taken by a particle to complete one oscillation while it is performing SHM. Okay. So we have to find out after what time it completes one oscillation. That we are going to find out. Okay. So period is denoted by capital T. So we are going to find out the value for period. So we'll see over here as, again you all know this equation, I will write it again. X is equal to a sin omega t plus phi. This is the required equation, in which we are going to put what happens after time t. So that time will be so this is what we are going to consider, that is small t. After time t, this becomes t plus 2 pi by omega. Okay. So we are going to put the value of t as this in the given equation. So what we will get over here? So we will get x is equal to a sin omega will be as it is. Instead of t, we are going to put this t plus 2 pi divided by omega plus phi. Okay. So I will multiply this omega to inside the bracket. So I will get x is equal to, here you can see, a sin omega into t will be omega t plus omega into 2 pi by omega. What happens over here? this omega and omega will get cancelled. So I am getting only 2 pi plus 5. So this is the equation what we have got. Okay. So as you all know, what is sine of 2 pi plus theta? I will write in another way so that you will come to know what exactly I am asking about. Now, tell me what happens when sine of 2 pi plus theta is there. It becomes sine theta only. I am repeating it again. Sine of 2 pi plus theta is nothing but sine theta. Sine of 2 pi plus theta is nothing but sine theta itself. So what is theta over here? It is omega t plus phi. So I am getting x is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. So I am getting the same equation again. So after what time I am getting the same equation again? After time 2 pi by omega. After time t, 2 pi by omega is the additional term. So that is nothing but our period. So after 2 pi by omega, one oscillation got complete. So we can say capital T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Have you understood this? What happened if I add 2 pi by omega plus t? T is the initial time. Okay, so I have added one more term to it, which is 2 pi by omega. And if I added the term 2 pi by omega, I got the same equation as the previous one. So what is the meaning of that? The oscillation got complete. One oscillation got complete after time 2 pi by omega, and it comes to the same position. What does it mean? When a particle is oscillating, what is meaning of one oscillation got complete? When any particle is starting from here, it goes over here and it again comes back to the same position. This means one oscillation got complete. So in this case, same happens over here. Particle goes to 2 pi by omega and again it comes back to the same position, right? So this is the same position. So we are getting periodic time as 2 pi by omega. So as we all know, what is omega? It is nothing but root of k by m. So I can put this value over here. So I will get t is equal to 2 pi under root. It is in denominator. So I will get the value like this. So we have got value for periodic time, which is 2 pi under root m upon k. Okay, so this is it. Now we are going to see about frequency. Now what is frequency? Frequency is number of oscillations performed per unit time when it is performing SHM. Okay, so number of oscillations performed per unit time. It is being given by symbol n, and formula for it is 1 upon t. So value for t is given over here. I am getting it is 1 by t, right? So 1 divided by 2 pi under root. What happens to that? It will become k by m. It becomes inverse. So I got value for frequency as this. N is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root k by m. So this is the first point that what we have covered. What is that? Amplitude, period and frequency. What is amplitude? It is the maximum displacement covered by any particle while it is performing SHM, and it is nothing but plus or minus k. When we are getting plus or minus k? When the angle, which is sine of omega t plus phi, becomes either plus 1 or minus 1. Okay, so this is the first point that we have covered. Then period. What is period? Period means it is the time taken by a particle to complete one oscillation. Okay, so that time comes out to be 2 pi by omega. We have derived the equation for the same. So we got periodic time as 2 pi by omega. After putting value for omega as under root k by m, we got this equation 2 pi under root n by k. And after that we have say frequency. What is frequency? It is number of oscillations performed per unit time when the particle is performing SHM. and it all when it's starting from its mean position. That is the main important thing. Okay, so all particles are starting from mean position. So you have got this as 1 by 2 pi under root k by m. Okay, now we will move towards the next point, which is phase. We are going to study about phase now. What is phase? So as you have already learned about amplitude, period, velocity, acceleration, all those concepts we have covered up to this part, right? So why to study about phase? So when we are considering any particle is traveling along a circle, okay, when it moves along the circumference of a circle, it creates an angle, some angle it creates, alright. So to find out that angle, we have to study the term which is known as phase. It is not necessary to only study about the displacement or velocity, because it gives in 2 dimensions. Because if we are considering velocity, it will give the 2 directions. So for confirmations, for a confirmed value, we have to know the angular displacement which is being there performing SHM. Okay, so for that reason we are going to study about the phase, and that phase is being given by omega t plus phi. So this is omega t plus phi. We are going to consider the terms which continuously varies with time. So which are the concepts or which are the terms which continuously varies with time? First one is displacement, second one is velocity, and third one is acceleration. So these all 3 quantities does changes with time. So we have to consider all these 3 while we are studying SHM. For that we are going to study even about phase. Okay. So on board you can see there are some special cases that we have to consider while we are studying phase. Okay. So first special case is what happens when phi is 0. Okay. So what happens when phi becomes 0? You can put value for phi over here, and then you will find out theta, which is phase. We will find out that. Okay. So what happens over here? Theta for the first condition. Okay. Before moving towards to calculate this, we have to consider any particle when it starts to oscillate. Okay, it goes to either positive mean position or negative mean position, and even at either positive extreme or negative extreme. So it depends, and then it completes one oscillation. It always oscillates to and fro, and while oscillating it travels from mean to extreme, from positive to positive, from negative to negative. Okay, so that we have to consider. So that's why I have written over here positive and negative, positive extreme and negative extreme. Okay, so it depends on the direction, on which direction it oscillates. Alright, so the first condition, which is phi, when we are putting it as 0, and it is from positive mean position, it is starting from mean position and it is in positive direction. So what will be theta? Theta is equal to omega t plus 0. Okay, so as we all know, what is omega? It is 2 pi by t, and into t is there. So you are getting phase as 2 pi. So this is nothing but the first case in which we are getting phase as 2 pi. For the second we can do, even for the second, what is the second case? It is 180 degree or pi radian, and it is to the negative. I am taking it as pi radian. Okay, so not this, phi. Okay, so theta will be omega t plus pi. Am I right? Yes. So this becomes 2 pi by t into t plus pi. So this t will get cut. So I am getting 2 pi plus pi. So theta is nothing but 2 pi plus pi, which is nothing but 3 pi. Okay. In same way you can find out for both of them. It is homework for you all, that you are going to find out theta for this both. what will be it? It will be obviously pi by 2 plus pi, and this will be the next one. Okay, so you are going to find out. So this is all about the phase. Okay, now we are going to move towards the very interesting and somewhat difficult part of it, which is composition of SHM, in which if anyone is not having maths, please do concentrate and repeat the steps again and again, so that you will come to know the basic concept behind the derivation, which is composition of SHM. Okay, so we are going to start with composition of SHM. x1 is equal to a1 sin omega t plus phi 1. This is the first equation. Two SHMs having this, one of which is having this equation, second one of which is having another equation. Okay, so as we had said that it is the composition. So what is meaning of composition? You have to combine both of them. So the combination, it becomes x is equal to x1 plus x2. So what is x1? a1 sin omega t plus phi 1 plus a2 sin omega t plus phi 2. So this is the composition, and now we are going to find out the final value for it. Okay, so as you all know, what is sine of a plus b? What does it give? Sine of a plus b. Okay, so I will write over here the formula. Sine of a plus b is nothing but sine a cos b plus cos a sin b. This is the first formula that we are going to use over here from maths. Okay, so we are going to use this. In this, what is a over here? It is omega t. What is b? Phi 1. In the second, a is omega t and b is phi 2. So we are going to apply that formula over here, and we'll see what happens to the whole equation. So I will write, start from here, x a1 will be as it is. Okay, sine a cos b. So I will write a over here and b over here. A and b. Okay, sine a cos b plus cos a sin b. It is cos a will be this, and sin b. Am I right? Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Yes, it is right. So I will put a bracket over here plus a2 into bracket again sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So I got this equation. So I will multiply this a1 to the bracket and a2 to the second bracket. So what I will get? I will get a1 sin omega t cos phi 1 plus a1 cos omega t sin phi 1. This is the first bracket, and second bracket is a2 sin omega t cos phi 2 plus a2 cos omega t sin phi. Now observe the equation in which you will find out some equal equation or equal terms. Which are they? You can see over here. And in both the terms we are having common sin omega t, and here you are having common term as cos omega t. So we are going to combine them, which are having the common terms. So what we will get? So while we are considering sin omega t is common from this term and this term, I will take common out sin omega t. So what remains in the bracket? A1 cos phi 1, A1 cos phi 1 plus in this A2 cos phi 2, A2 cos phi. So this is the first. For second, what we are going to take common? Cos omega t. So I will take common out cos omega t. From this and this, I will get A1 sin phi 1 plus A2 sin phi 2. A1 sin phi 1 plus A2 sin phi. So in this way you can find out the equation. So please look at the board once so that you will again come to know. Okay. So I will just again explain all the three terms. First of all, what we have considered two equations. X1 is equal to A1 sin omega t plus phi 1. Second equation A2 sin omega t plus phi 2. Okay. Now we are going to add both the terms. So x is equal to x1 plus x2. So I have just added both the terms. Now what I have done, I have applied this formula of sin of a plus b, which is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So by applying that, I got this. Then I multiplied a1 and a2 to the bracket, and I just removed the brackets, and I got this term, whole equation, in which I find out that two terms, which is sin omega t and sin omega t, is common from both the terms, and another one which is having common as cos omega t. So I have just take common sin omega t and I have written the equation, and I have taken common as cos omega t and I have written the equation. Okay. Now this and this, we are going to consider something for both of them. We are going to consider both of them as some constant term for right now. Okay. So I will write over here. So the first term, which is having cos phi 1 and cos phi 2, which is a1 cos phi 1, you can see, plus a2 cos phi 2. I am going to consider this as r cos delta. We are going to find whole of them. Right now we are going to consider this whole term as r cos delta. I will say this as 1. And for second bracket, which is a1 sin phi 1 plus a2 sin phi 2, this as r sin delta. This will be as 2. So I am going to substitute r cos delta and r sin delta over here. So what I will get? I will get sin omega t into r cos delta plus cos omega t into r sin delta. So now what we can do? R can be taken outside because r is common in both the terms. So I will get r into bracket sin omega t cos delta plus cos omega t sin delta is nothing but x. Now observe this and this. Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b is nothing but what? It is nothing but sin of a plus b, right? So can I put over here this? See, I have got sin omega t cos delta plus cos omega t sin delta in the same way. Sin cos b plus cos a sin b. Instead of this, I can put sin of a plus b. So what I can write over here? What is a and what is b? Consider a as omega t and b as delta. So you will get this equation as r sine omega t plus delta only. So you have got the resultant displacement, which is r sine omega t plus delta. So this is the resultant displacement, which is x or amplitude, you can say. This is not resultant amplitude, this is x only, because we are going to say amplitude as this r. R is nothing but resultant amplitude, and we have to find out even though these values, even r we don't know and delta we have to find out. Okay, so after doing these all things, we are going to find out the values for r and delta. So please have a look at the board, so that I will rub the board finally. Okay, so I will rub the board right now, and we are going to find out the values for r and delta. First equation, which is r cos delta is equal to a1 cos phi 1 plus a2 cos phi 2. So I will write the equation again. This is the first equation, and second we got, right? Yes. So what I am going to do, I am going to square and add both the equations. This I am going to square and add. So what happens by squaring? R square cos square delta plus r square sin square delta at the LHS, and to the RHS bracket square plus this bracket square. So a1 cos phi 1 plus a2 cos phi 2 bracket square plus a1 sin phi 1 plus a2 sin phi 2 bracket square. So this we have to solve. Okay, so we are going to solve this. Consider this as a and this as b. So what is square of a plus b? I will write over here. What is a plus b bracket square? It is nothing but a square plus b square plus twice ab. Am I right? Yes. So we are going to use this formula over here. So a is nothing but a1 cos phi 1 and b is nothing but a2 cos phi 2. Even for the second bracket, we are going to apply the same. So, and at the LHS, you can take common r square. And what is sin square theta plus cos square theta? It is 1. So we are getting r square into bracket sin square delta plus cos square delta, which comes out to be 1. So at the LHS, I am just having the term as r square. Why I am having only r square? Because sin square theta plus cos square theta comes out to be 1. That's why I am having only r square over here. Okay, now I am going to square these brackets and I am going to solve both the brackets together. So this becomes a1 square cos square phi 1 plus a2 square cos square phi 2 plus twice a1 a2 cos phi 1 cos phi 2. This is the first bracket. This, and we'll solve another bracket, which is sin bracket. So that will be a1 square, sin square phi 1 plus a2 square sin square phi 2 plus twice a1 a2 sin phi 1 sin phi 2. Okay, so you are having this equation like train. It's such a long equation. Okay, now what we can do, we can take common some terms. I will just underline those terms, what we can take common. Here you can see a1 square, a2 square, a2 square, and twice 7a2, twice 7a2. So we can just take common these terms from all these things. So what I will get? R square is equal to, by taking a1 square common from this and this term, I am having a1 square into bracket sin square phi 1 plus cos square phi 1. Is it right? Yes. For the second, a2 square I am taking common from this and this, which will be sin square phi 2 plus cos square phi 2 plus cos square phi 2, then plus twice a1 a2 into bracket cos phi 1 cos phi 2 plus sin phi 1 sin phi 2. Now what? 1, 2 and 3. Some formula has to use. Trigonometric formula. This becomes 1. This becomes 1. But what happens over here? What is this? In the same way, we are going to say there is some formula for cos A, cos B plus sin A, sin B. What is this? It is not sin of A plus B. Then what is that? It is nothing but cos of A minus B. Cos of A minus B is nothing but cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So after putting all those values, we will get a1 square plus, as it is 1, plus a2 square plus twice a1 a2 cos of A minus B. A minus B. Am I right? So what will be R then? It will be the square root of these all terms, which is a1 square plus a2 square plus twice a1 a2 cos of 5 minus 5. Okay. I hope you got all these three things, which is first one that we have find out the composition, that means x, value of x we have find out, in which we introduce a new term which is R and delta. So that's why we have find out the value for R for the first. How we have find out? As we put R cos delta as this equation and R sin delta as this equation, we just square both the equations and added both the equations to both sides. So after squaring and adding, I got this, and then I have just taken out the common terms from that and I put the formula in it. So I got value for R. Okay. So there are some cases when phi 1 minus phi 2 becomes 0. What happens to R? When phi 1 minus phi 2 becomes 90, what happens to this? When phi 1 minus phi 2 becomes 180, what happens to it? Isn't that we are going to see? Okay. So this is it for today. In tomorrow's lecture, that is lecture or part 4, we are going to see the special cases of this, and even we are going to find out value for delta, which is this. Okay. So we are going to find out value of delta and special cases of this. And one more new term we are going to study in tomorrow's lecture. Okay. So I hope you got all these concepts. Please do practice this again and again. Only then you will get to this. Okay. These are the derivatives, and all the derivations which are there in oscillations are mostly depending on the formulas which are there in mathematics. So please do remember all the formulas so that you can substitute all the formulas over here. Okay. So practice will make you perfect. So do practice. And if you have any query in this, please do comment. I will solve your query. Thank you.